Hey guys, I'm Nate and welcome to the second episode of Informed, where we're going to be talking about aliens, microbots, and DNA. Let's get started. Microbots that are about the same diameter as hair are currently in development at the moment to be able to clean contaminated water. A test was performed on a water supply that had been contaminated by lead, and after about 1 hour of the microbots being in the water, they were able to successfully remove 95% of the lead from the water source. The structure of the microbots is actually very simple. It has an outer graphene layer, inside of that it has a nickel layer, and inside of that it has a platinum layer. It forms a bit of a tube. What the graphene does is that it filters all the heavy metals, in this case lead, from the water. The nickel allows for the vessels to be controlled by electromagnetics externally, and the platinum actually decomposes hydrogen peroxide that is within the water sample into oxygen and hydrogen to propel the craft forward. Something that's really cool about these microbots as well is that they're actually reusable. The heavy metals can be removed from the graphene layer, and those microbots can then be replaced back into contaminated water supplies. They aim to use this type of technology in third world developing countries, as well as in areas that have been damaged due to mining or waste dumping. Development is also being done into the microbots to see if they can increase the number of toxins that they can remove from water. 1.7 million Australians are currently diagnosed with diabetes, and approximately 280 people are diagnosed with it per day in Australia. Diabetes is caused due to a lack of beta cells, but it can also be due to the body's insensitivity to insulin, the hormone that is responsible for the regulation of blood glucose levels. Researchers have created pluripotent stem cells, which actually eventually can differentiate into fully functional beta cells. The cool thing about these stem cells is that they can actually be harvested from the patient's skin cells. Symptoms of diabetes was cured in the mice that the test was performed on, but unfortunately this only occurred when the mice's immune system was actually suppressed. The reason why the immune system had to be suppressed was because the stem cells had actually been cultured from human skin cells. Because of this, of course the immune system of the mice was going to attack these cells. The cool thing about this is that stem cells cultivated from one species was used to cure the symptoms of another species. The important thing now is what happens when we inject those stem cells from the human back into the human who is suffering from diabetes. Human trials will be commencing in the near future. Researchers from the University of Washington and Microsoft have successfully been able to digitally turn data into DNA and then back into the same digital data again. This works by generating a sequence of DNA building blocks, which are also called nucleotides, into sequences that represent 1 and 0s. DNA nucleotides consist of adenine, cytosine, thymine, and guanine. The cool thing is that they turned it from 1s and 0s to DNA back into 1s and 0s without losing any information. Though this will make the storing of digital media so much easier, there are a couple of downsides. The two main ones is that the synthesis of this artificial DNA, as well as the transcription from 1s and 0s to nucleotides back to 1s and 0s, is a very expensive process. The researchers are currently waiting for further interest and investment into the technology so that they can scale it up and also make the production of this artificial DNA more efficient. Two American parents have taken matters into their own hands while trying to research a cure for their twin daughters. The two daughters have been diagnosed with a rare genetic disease known as Niemann-Pick's type C disease, or NPC. This disease is also sometimes known as the childhood Alzheimer's. NPC symptoms include disorientation, slurred speech, dementia, epilepsy, psychosis, as well as bipolar disorders, just to name a few. All of the daughters' symptoms are associated with an excessive buildup of cholesterol and glycolipids within their cells. While researching, the two parents came across cyclodextrin, a chemical that is currently already being used in different types of medication and also in some foods. It is a simple ring of sugar molecules that, because of its structure, assists in the transportation of cholesterol through the body. They begged the FDA as well as some medication companies to allow them to intravenously inject their daughters with cyclodextrin. The FDA gave them permission to use the drug, and they have found that it doesn't cure the disease, but over time it has resulted in some improvement of their condition. Cyclodextrin is now currently being trialled to treat other children with NPC. Through the collaboration of engineering experts in neurology and physiology, movement has been brought back to a patient's hand that was suffering from paralysis. The new technology is a complex neural bypass that basically reads incoming signals coming from the brain and transmits them to the muscles to activate them. 24-year-old Ian Burkham is currently the only person to ever use this technology. The technology consists of a microchip embedded within the patient's brain, a very complex algorithm which reads the incoming signals, and also a sleeve on the patient's arm that is made out of electrodes that stimulates the muscle movement. The chip position was determined by a functional MRI where the patient had to lay down and think about moving his hand. There are some limitations in this technology, but the researchers and Ian are very hopeful as to where this will lead them. Yuri Milner and Stephen Hawkins are currently working together to try and find extraterrestrial life. The project is called Breakthrough Starshot, and they're hoping that it's going to take place in the next 20 to 30 years. The idea is kind of insane. They're going to be taking these nano spaceships, launching them from a mothership that would be around Earth's orbit. They're going to be equipped with a camera, a transmitter, and a solar sail. And they're hoping that using an array of lasers back on Earth, they're going to be able to supercharge the solar sails so that they can get up to speeds of up to 20% the speed of light. While this isn't going to be occurring anytime soon, Milner says there are no fundamental issues that they have to overcome for this project to happen. Alright guys, that's it for my second episode of Inform. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you want any additional information on the articles that I have discussed today, I'll definitely leave links for them in the description below. And as always guys, thanks for watching.